Hello and welcome. My name is Ren and this is my channel, Paranoid Tarot. And today we're going to be going over predictions for May 2023, which is coming up soon. So let's get to it. First, I have 3 different piles here, and what I've done is I've pulled from only the major arcana for these first 3 cards. And we're going to be using these cards to figure out if you are pile 1, 2, or 3 for this reading. And in addition to this, I have the Tiger's Eye, Amazonite, and the Lemon Calcite here to help you kind of hone in on which one you feel you gravitate towards the most. This is to help you get the most accurate reading possible. All right, let's get to it. First, we have the Wheel of Fortune. And this is a great card to pull. This card means good luck. It means the life cycles, destiny, a turning point. Good things are coming and fate is on your side. You are at the right time for something. And as for what that something is, well, we'll be going into that in pile 1. As for our stone here, we have a chunk of Tiger Eye. And I love Tiger's Eye. Its numerological number is 4. It represents the earth and fire element. And the astrological sign it represents is Capricorn. Next, we have the Devil. All right, let's look into this card. The Devil, this card represents our shadow self, our attachments, our addictions, our restrictions, our sexuality, what we're drawn to, what we're passionate about. And perhaps what this is saying, pile 2, is that what you're going through is something very self-involved. Maybe it's not something so much to do with others, but this next month needs to be all about you. If that sounds right, sounds comfortable, then click on pile 2. Before you do though, let me go over the Amazonite. The Amazonite, its numerological number is 5. The element it represents is water, and the zodiac sign that it represents is Virgo. This stone is known for matching us to our noble spirit. It's known to be used by feminists because it celebrates feminine aspects of courage, strength, and power. It has an emphasis on balance and urges us to fight for equality rights and opportunities. So this really kind of is to me saying, like, again, just going all for it, but instead of for the whole, it's going to be for you this month. Last but certainly not least, we have the Hermit reversed. Really quick, I'll show you what this looks like regular ways. All right. Reversed, the Hermit means isolation, loneliness, withdrawal. Rather than being okay with being alone, you are very afraid of being alone, very uncomfortable, very unnerved, and not feeling good in your own skin. And we will, pile 3, look into what we can go into in the month of May to help you feel better about yourself and to get rid of this icky feeling that's surrounding you. Then we got the Lemon Calcite. Now, the zodiac signs it represents is Leo. The element it represents is fire, and it's also known with the planets to represent the sun. It's a very bright and colorful stone, and it'll help your mind passively start to resonate at a higher level, to be able to channel a higher tier of a spirit guide, to be able to help you work through what you need to work through. And to me, that's saying that with the Hermit in reverse here, we need something really strong to kind of, like the sun's rays, to just kind of pierce through this darkness that's surrounding you and to really help bring out the light. All right, those are our 3 piles, pile 1, 2, and 3. If any of these feel like they resonate with you, then click on ahead. Links will be below in the description to be able to click right to your pile. And thanks. I look forward to doing your read. Hello, hello. If you chose the Tiger Eye along with the Wheel of Fortune, then this read is for you, pile 1. I'm just going to shuffle these cards here. I have to do so by breaking them in half because the deck is new and a bit rigid, but that's okay. We'll break them in. What we're going to do today here, pile 1, is we're going to go over your month of May. We're going to pull 3 cards, and the first card is going to be about your first week in May. The middle card will be about not necessarily just the second, but the second and third week. And the fourth card will be about your last week in May. And we're basically going over the beginning, middle, and end to kind of see what trail could you follow along to be your future for the month of May. There's many things that could happen. We can always change the future, but we can also get some advice and look ahead at what our options are. And so that's what we're doing here. Interesting. 2 Pentacles. First, we have the 5 of Pentacles reversed. I'll show you what this is upright really quick. Now, financial loss, poverty, lack of mindset, isolation, worry. These are the typical meanings that surround this card. The feeling I'm getting from you, pile 1, is that you've perhaps had some sort of financial hardship, or perhaps you've just made a large investment, and because of that, you are suffering a little bit in your pockets. It's been a little hard to catch up, and you haven't quite gotten back on your feet yet. And you're a little bit worried about it, because who wouldn't be when finances are tight? But we will see how this turns out, because next we go right into the 2 of Pentacles. And by the way, I'll go a little more in depth into these, but let's just do an overview first. Now, the 2 of Pentacles, as you see, we have a woman here kind of balancing these symbols of, well, this is typically meaning money, financial or earthly, material type of things that, excuse me, my words lost me there. Let me start from the beginning. Upright, this card means that you have multiple things going on and that you are balancing them. And you are balancing these material things and you are showing a good sense of time management. You're getting your priorities straight, and not only that, but you're adapting to change. You're kind of going with the flow, kind of ebbing with the wind. And at the same time, keeping balance, remaining in control, letting things stabilize, which is great because we have a deficit here in the beginning of the month. But then we have here that you're kind of getting back into the rhythm and finding your balance again. Next, we have the Page of Wands, and here's what it is upright, but we pulled it for you inverse. The inverse means that this is the start of a journey of sorts. Even though it's the page and not the beginning at the ace, it's not the fool, it's not the very start. We have found ourselves and we have built ourselves up from nothing. We have a foundation on our shoulders. And because of that, we are now able to start a new journey, a new path, and not be so light-footed about it. We're going to know exactly what we're going into when we start it. We're going to be prepared this time, but at the same time be open to change and opportunity, which was hard at the start of the month, or will be hard at the start of the month, because you've had this deficit here that's made it seem that, you're imbalanced and that you're not right here what it seems like with the Two of Pentacles. You're not there yet. You will be towards the middle of the month. You're going to get your footing, and then once you get your footing again and things get stabilized, you're going to be ready for something new and to make a whole new investment, a whole new journey, and you're going to have a lot more knowledge on your shoulders than the first time when we got this card here. All right, pile one. I have felt drawn to a set of oracle cards that I will now pull to kind of help us extrapolate from these cards a little more and get a deeper meaning into what's going on. First, let's look at the Secrets of Wandwood. And what I will be asking the spirits, your spirit guides, is what is this? Let's start with the beginning of what's this financial deficit? What's this sacrifice that is being recovered from? Is it something that can be avoided, or is this first Five of Pentacles card something that simply needs to happen? Chaos. Okay. That to me is the answer to that question, pile one. Chaos, as in you need to have a little disruption, a little getting off your balance. You have to be knocked off your balance before you can find your balance is what I'm getting. That you kind of have to go through the rough patch in order to learn and get the tools that you need to be able to find yourself in a balanced position. And then further, once you're in that balanced position, I forgot to put this back in verse. You can then see yourself on your own journey and find yourself looking through newly formed ideas, and redirect your energy to something more positive that will benefit you. And while this also suggests that you have some self-limiting beliefs that are still lingering around, it also suggests that you are finding yourself on a spiritual path. And perhaps these self-limiting beliefs are helping you create a healthy boundary that you need. And that might not be not a negative thing. It could be something positive. Now, again, we have chaos here, which suggests that this disruption needs to occur, and that it's not something to be afraid of in the start of the month, but something to embrace, and it's going to happen so you can be prepared for it, and to let the cards fall as they may. Next, we're going to look at the Dream Interpretation Oracle to find out what dreams is pile one going to have that they need to pay attention to that's going to help them find balance and reach the state of the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Mountain. You have a journey that you must go on, pile one, and you shouldn't be afraid of it. You should embrace it, like I've said. And it's going to be a mountain to climb. It's going to be something that is going to be hard, but it's going to be so worth it. And you're going to reach such higher planes because of it and get so much farther. But it's going to take some effort. It's going to take some time. But through that hardship, that's where you're going to find your balance. And it's when things are finally like reaching near the top after all of this hard work of getting there that you're going to find this state of the Two of Pentacles. Next, we're going to look at the Divine Doors cards to see what door should pile one go through? What piece of advice do they need for this door to reach the state of the Page of Wands where they're able to start a new path because they have the tools they need from the Two of Pentacles and going over that mountain. So what other advice do they need to reach that final stage of having what they need to be able to go on a journey that's not necessarily a hard and arduous one, but one that's fun and one that's spiritually enlightening? Okay. This is your door, more of a doorway. And we have here passages. spiritual signs of inclination. You're walking through passages of your transformation. I think it's funny that we're getting inclination like an incline, which again, like you have to go through up this mountain to be able to relax and go down it. And you're walking through the passages of your transformation, meaning you have to go through all these stages to get there. It's all part of the process. It's part of fate. It's something that is meant to happen for your betterment and not to bring you down, pile one. Let's find some more wisdom through plants with the Herbiary Oracle cards. Now, these cards each has a plant that it represents. And it has a message. And this message is going to be what you need to embody, pile one, to be able to reach this state of transformation, be able to go through it with stride and to be able to handle what comes at you and be able to soar afterwards. One more shuffle for good luck. Okay. Finding grace with the Starflower. Okay. Let me show you what this card looks like up close. We have these beautiful purple flowers and these peacock feathers peeking out. We have these beautiful jewels. There is a lot of decadence and elegance going on with this card, especially with these drawn back curtains. Especially, I guess, finding grace. These are all things that embody grace. Now let's look into what the Starflower means. Some call this plant by her more common name, borage, but she prefers Starflower, and wouldn't you? Her blue star-shaped petals shine among the garden's more usual yellows and pinks, shimmering yet understated, like an old-time movie starlet. Starflower shares a timeless philosophy with these legends of the silver screen. Grace isn't something you keep for yourself, she tells us. Grace, Starflower knows, is a gift you give over and over again to the world around you. If you're thoughtful, caring, and true, grace develops a patina over time, becoming wisdom, cradling those lucky enough to be in your presence. How can you let a little more grace into your life? This card is asking you to, as it suggests, find grace, to seek to share with others a compassion that they weren't expecting to receive. To have this grace, this elegance, this exuberance of magnanimity, I think I said that right, magnanimity, where you kind of shine without being haughty. You're showing this greatness through kindness where it's like holding the door open for someone or just saying thanks or hello or giving someone a compliment. Just those little things can really build someone else up. And then through that, you can see that shine in their eye or that thankfulness, and that will build you up and help you through this month of May and help you through this time and through this growth process where you're evolving from this state of being the one that needs the helping hand to then being able to go out and venture out and give a helping hand. That is how I see your month of May going, pile one. Let's pull some dice. I'm being drawn to this yellow one to see what numbers you should pay attention to this month that's going to help you in your transformation process. All right, the number 3. Pay attention to the number 3. It might pop out in a way that you don't expect. And if you follow that path, perhaps that'll lead you to something that will help you blossom and help you really just grow and soar and help others along the way. I hope that message resonated with you, pile one. And if it did, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you have a wonderful month of May, and I hope good things are coming to you. All right. Have a good one. Bye. Hello. If you picked the Devil card along with the Amazonite, then this read is for you, Pile 2. We are going to look over your start, middle, and end to the month of May and see how it's going to go about. And if something negative comes up, we'll see how you can avoid it. If something positive comes up, we'll see how you can assure it'll happen. Let's get into it. Okay, 2 Pentacles here. First we have the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and then the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. All cards very high up on the number scale. All right, Pile 2. You're starting off the month with the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles is a financial opportunity, skill development, manifestation. You are going to be creating something, working towards something, and you are going to get the fruits from your labor. You are going to essentially grow a seed, and it's going to successfully become a beautiful plant. Not literally, but whatever you invest in, it's going to be a positive and have an abundance. Also, I have some paint on my hands. I just came out from my painting class, so sorry about that. Hopefully it's not a distraction. Next, we have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords means unbiased judgment, clear boundaries, direct communication, and independence. You are going to take what you have and you are going to be unwavering about it, yet you are going to listen to what other people have to say and have the ultimate judgment call. It is going to be you that makes the decision about what becomes of it, and you are going to be the one directing it in this sort of leadership role. And that's going to sort of develop towards the middle of the month. Near the end, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Here's what it looks like upright. And the 10 of Pentacles in reverse is the dark side of wealth, financial failure or loss. So while you had an uprising from the beginning to the middle of the month, things are kind of going to go sour and not turn out so well financially. So let's see what we can do to avoid this by pulling one more card. Spirits, what can we do? What can Pile 2 do to avoid this 10 of Pentacles reverse ending and to have a financially successful month? What do they need to do that's different from what they would have normally done? The Hierophant. Okay, so this card represents spiritual wisdom, religious beliefs, conformity, tradition, institution. So perhaps instead of being the forefront of the decision making, you should rely on some sort of someone else basically and go a more traditional means. You might have tried something that was out of the box, and in this case that is not going to work out, and you need to step back and kind of look at more traditional methods of how to go about what this project is that you're manifesting. Let's look at the Woodland Wardens deck and see what animals are guiding you and should you look out for during this month. What animal and what guide should Pile 2 be looking for and at this month? Okay, one more time for good luck. The Vulture and Asphodel, upheaval. So perhaps this is saying that you're going to need to really put to death of sorts this way of thinking, that this idea that you had, and let it become food or growth or fertilizer, basically, for someone else. For perhaps it's someone else that needs to take charge, take the lead, and you were the beginning process of this venture, but perhaps you are not the one that's meant to keep it for the middle and end. It's someone else that you need to hand over the reins to. Now, it's also to remember, asphodel, it means peace after death and the afterlife. So this means that it's not going to be an end to your project that's going to end in disaster. No, it's something that's going to rebirth it to something new, into something positive, and give you peace, which is what we're looking for towards the end of the month. Next, we're going to look at the Prism Oracle deck to see what color and what simple message will help you in your decision making this month. What color is important for pile 2 to embrace and embody and to look towards for their decision making this month? Purple with creativity. And now purple is a very psychic color. So I think this means that you need to lean on your intuition and let creativity guide you. Don't let yourself be biased or conform to one specific idea or the other. Be open to what others have to offer and how they can build on what you have yourself. Next, we're going to look at the dream interpretation cards to look at what sort of interpretations there are for the dreams that you're going to be having this month. Or maybe it's dreams that you've had already, but what do they mean for you in the month of May? Let's find out. Spirit guides, what do you have in mind for the dreams? What's your interpretation of the dreams that pile 2 is going to have in regards to what's going to come about in the month of May? Travel. Perhaps there's somewhere you're going to be going, or a distance that you have to go, either physically or spiritually, that is going to make a change in this path that you're going on. And you, perhaps, this doesn't have to necessarily be specifically what you dreamed about traveling, but it could be, this is the interpretation of it. This is what it means, that there is a distance you need to go, and you're not just going to be there just like that. It's going to take a bit of time and take some effort to get there. I am going to pull out a spell card to see what spell you can be focusing on, what spell can pile 2 do to help them have a more positive outcome to their month of May. What can help them reverse this 10 of Pentacles from being reversed to being upright and being able to be wise and accepting of other people's ideas and thoughts? What can they do to really... Whoops, that card just jumped out, so that will be our card. Let's see. You need to do an aura cleanse. Okay, now to do this spell, you need to mix 3 drops of rosemary with 1 cup of sea salt and add it to a warm bath. Soak in the bath for 15 minutes to release any negative energy that has been picked up during the day. And this also says raising vibrations. And yeah, so I think this is important to try to look into doing. Pile 2, that might help you release these negative tensions that are like building up on you, and to be more accepting and unbiased and relatable, and to be able to ebb with the edge and flow of life, basically. Last but certainly not least, I'm going to look up some numbers, being drawn to this dice, for you to look into. What numbers should pile 2 be paying attention to during the month of May? 2. pay attention to the number 2. Perhaps there's going to be 2 big decisions and that you need to, or 2 choices to pick from in this month. And once you come to those crossroads, realize that this is the point where you are at your spiritual junction of, do I go this way or that way? And that this could be an important point to look an important point in your life to look upon your spirit guides and to really ask for help and guidance and to look onto others. And while you are going to be good at making the decisions yourself, as said by this card, it's still not going to be bad to lean on other people and to look back at more traditional beliefs that might seem outdated, but maybe it applies in a way that you don't expect that could help you out this month. All right. I hope that helped. If it resonated, if this message resonated in any way, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. All right. Bye. Hello and welcome. If you picked the Hermit in reverse along with the Lemon Calcite, then this read is for you, pile 3. Now, today what we're going to be doing is going over the start, middle, and end to your month of May in 2023. So we're going to look to see if you have a positive outlook or a negative outlook upcoming. And if it's positive, we'll see how we can stay on that path. If it's negative, then we'll see how we can turn it into something positive. I'm just breaking up these cards into smaller piles to shuffle them because they're very stiff right now. I haven't broken them in yet. So they're a bit of a challenge to just shuffle like that. First, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Now, this card means self-confidence, self-respect, being introverted, a reestablished sense of self. So this is a very inward card, which is fitting for the Hermit reversed. And typically, this card upright would mean courage, confidence, independence. But because it's in reverse, we're still a bit more withdrawn. We're not fully out there. While we have respect for ourselves, we still aren't exuberating it. We aren't exuding it. We aren't really like pushing it out there. We're very reserved about this feeling. Wow. And the 8 of Cups also really fits here because this card means withdrawn, escapism, disappointment, abandonment. So this is telling me that what you've been going through so far with the Hermit is kind of continuing on from the beginning to the middle of the month of May, where you're sort of inward, you're a bit of a hermit, and you're taking time for yourself, but it's not necessarily self-care. It's because you're kind of in this state of abyss where nothing's really quite catching your eye. But fortunately, we end on the Page of Wands, which is a great card for discovery, limitless potential, free spirit, ideas, discovery, inspiration, really starting a new journey. And unlike the Fool, you have a wand here with you. You have tools here with you that you can utilize on your journey. So I think towards the end of the month, you're finally going to get your kicks back again. You're finally going to start to feel better, start to really feel up to doing something, but it's not going to come until the near end. So expect to kind of feel in this state of yuckiness almost until the near end of the month. Then things are going to start turning around and they're going to start getting better. Let's look a little further into these cards with some oracle cards. For your oracles today, I think what I'm going to do is first look at to see what spirit guides are on your side, because I really feel like you're going to need them for the start and middle of this month. And then we're going to find some wise words from your spirit guide. So first we're going to look at the Angelarium deck. And we're going to see what angels you have backing you in your corner. What angels does pile 3 have as a spirit guide that's going to help them through the month of May? All right. We have Zachriel with the Angel of Memory. Now, from what I understand, Zachriel is kind of a dick. Here's a poem about him. For he who holds the memory of man, for whose arcane business is long forgotten, why should he bless you if you cannot even remember his face? He who holds the past upon his shoulders and the future in his hands. Hail Zachriel, angel of memory. So, to me that says, if you can't remember him or think on him specifically, then why should he do anything for you? Which is, again, in my opinion, kind of a dick move, because maybe you didn't know of him, so how could you call upon him then? Well, I guess you know him now. Perhaps there is something in your memories that is haunting you, that is keeping you stuck in this sort of zone, and it's something that you need to move past, to journey past. And that will be something that will help you kind of move along from this stage of the journey to this stage. Next, we'll look at the Woodland Wardens to see what animal spirit guide you have that's here to help you and here to guide you. What spirit guides are available for pile 3? For the month of November, who is on their side? What animal should they be paying attention to? Aw, the bee. The bee and pomegranate with productivity. Let's take a closer look at this card. Now, I have a book here that gives an explanation as to what this means, so I'm going to read that. The bee and pomegranate calls us to create with purpose. Bees are known for their hard work and industriousness. The phrase busy as a bee derives from Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales written in the 14th century. Pomegranates are tough-skinned and difficult to open, but once their exterior is pierced, hundreds of seeds burst forth, signifying fertility and abundance. This card means you are your most productive. Take care to ensure your labor fulfills you. When am I at my most productive? Am I feeling fulfilled in my work? And if no, how do I change that? So this is asking you, pile 3, are you fulfilled in the work that you do? Is what you do from your day to day something that drives you, that gives you that buzz, that good feeling, that spark? And if not, then maybe it's time to look at a different career path or different hobbies. And I think that that's what this card's calling you to do in order to start to feel better about yourself. Since we looked at bees, next let's look at flowers with the Botanical Inspirations deck. What flower is going to help guide pile 3 in this time of unsurety, where they're going through a rough start to their month and need some help getting through it? Aw, the sweet pea. Here we have the sweet pea, which, see if I can get that to focus, says blissful pleasure. Follow your bliss and the universe will open doors where there were only walls. Exactly. This is just continuing on from here, saying that once you find your happy place, opportunities are going to open up for you and things are going to start to move forward, to start to progress and really develop. Lastly, with the Wisdom of the House of Night cards, we're going to look for some wisdom from our spirit guides to really help hammer in what we need to do to really get through this month, pile 3? What does pile 3 need to hear to help them get through the month with a positive outlook? Fulfillment. This is just, again, just really hammering these in that you're not fulfilled, pile 3. But when you are, that's when everything's going to align. And you are going to feel that your cup is full. It's going to be delicious. It's going to be good for you, pile 3. And you're finally going to reach this state here with the Page of Wands where you're ready to expand yourself further and to go on your venture. Before we end today, let's look up some dice. Let's see. Oh, being called to this one. What number should pile 3 look into this month and pay attention to be able to have the best month they can possibly have for the month of May? 16. Okay, pay attention to the number 16 and any way it may come up. It could come up in a newspaper, it could come up on the street. Someone could have written it on like the side of a bench. But noticing it will help you remember that you need to search for that thing that gives you that spark. And once you find it, that's when things are really going to start to progress. And the cards are saying you're going to find it before the end of the month, but hopefully sooner rather than later. All right, that draws our read to a close today. I hope this resonated. If it did, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you have a wonderful morning, day, night, whenever this has reached you. And more importantly, I hope you have a wonderful May. All right, bye.